In today's video, we're going to talk about video. There's three main types of video: cinematic slow motion, video you can speed up and slow down, and then your regular frame rate for YouTube style video like this. I'm going to go over all three of them and the settings for that. If you hang in there till the end, there's one really important thing you need to know when you shoot video, and I'll give you that tip. I'll also give you some tips for editing a video in Premiere Pro, and I'm not gonna waste too much time with an intro, so I'm just gonna dive right in. The first very important thing you need when you shoot video is the tripod. I do a lot of cinematic slow motion wildlife video, so I wanted to have a nice tripod to stabilize the camera so that I wasn't moving around too much when the animals are moving. It gives you the jittery look that's not very attractive in your videos. I use a fluid head for shooting my video, and the way that a fluid head works is it has resistance so that it smooths out the movements of the camera. This additionally takes out some of the vibrations or movements when you're moving the camera. And the way that you shoot with the fluid head, you don't actually really have to touch the camera itself, although you can. You just use the stick like this. That will give you a smoother video. If you want to lock it down, you can also lock it in place and take the video as a still shot. The only disadvantage to this fluid head that I have, it's a Breno Mammoth tripod and a Breno fluid head. The only disadvantage to this head I have found is the knobs are kind of small, and also there's no way to level the tripod other than adjusting the legs. If you do wildlife photography, you know that that's not really possible. The way that I level the video is actually with the camera itself. You can just rotate the camera like this. Most cameras have a level. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a level in the camera. Then I just rotate the camera like this, depending on which way the tripod is off. Say the tripod is leaning this way a little bit, like that. Then all you have to do is adjust the camera like this, and then the video is level. If you're shooting wildlife video and the wildlife is moving, that's great. You don't need to do anything. You can hold the camera still or track them with the camera. But if you choose to shoot cinematic scenes, especially slow motion cinematic scenes, you need to make sure something is moving in the video, because otherwise it just looks like a video of nothing. Get some wind blowing, get some water movement or waterfall or something that's going on in the video to give it some motion so they know that something is happening. Here's a couple examples of cinematic slow motion scenes. If you choose to handheld shoot video, you need to make sure you're stabilizing the camera as much as possible. You never want to just hold the camera out like this. It'll be so jerky that no one will want to watch it. You typically, when you shoot video, you put your arm here and you shoot the video like this. Or if you can do it, up here like this, but I've found it's a little bit easier if you fold the screen out like so and you shoot the video like this. Or get down on one knee. Use your knee to brace the camera, brace your elbow and brace the camera even more. The steadier the camera is, the better the video is going to be. In a Canon, you have custom programmable functions. What I have done to save me some trouble when I'm shooting video is see these C1, C2, C3. This is a Canon. Those are programmable video functions. So you can set the settings how you want them. And then every time you go back to C1, C2, or C3, those settings will be exactly the same. So for my cinematic slow motion, I would select that. I would keep my shutter speed at 1/250. I don't touch that at all. Never ever. I just use it the way it is. It makes beautiful slow motion video. If you want to adjust the exposure, if the video is overexposed like this, you can adjust the aperture up, or you can adjust the ISO down. I would typically adjust the aperture first. If I cannot get the exposure correctly with just using aperture, at that point then I would add ISO. The other important thing for shooting cinematic slow motion is you want to use the highest frame rate possible, the highest frame rate your camera will allow. This is a Canon R5, so I can shoot at 120 frames per second, 4K, and I shoot in all I. The video is amazing, it's super smooth, and that's personally what I use the most. This is my C2 setting. I have 1/125, 60 frames per second, 4K. And again, If I wanted to adjust the exposure, I would just use the aperture to adjust the exposure, and I would not touch the shutter speed. 60 frames per second is best for speeding up and slowing down the video and post-processing. This also can be used for high motion, like sports photography or animals that are running. Because it's a higher frame rate, you will capture more frames per second, which will give you less jerkiness in the video, as long as the video is stable. If the camera is not stable, you'll get more jerkiness from the camera itself. This is my C1 setting, 1/60, servo autofocus, all eye, 24 frames per second, 4K. This would be your typical video that you shoot everyday stuff with, or YouTube videos. This is as the eye sees it. You won't get any jerkiness in the video or less jerkiness in the camera, but if you choose to speed up or slow down the video, it's possible you could get some choppiness in the video. In a Canon, the setting for C1 through C3 custom shooting modes is where the little wrench is, number 5. You just scroll down to customize shooting modes. The way that you save these shooting modes is whatever your settings are here. If I want to save C1, whatever these settings are right now, you just hit the menu button, you go to custom shooting modes, you hit register settings, and you select C1. The other thing that really helped me out was I was having trouble switching modes between video and still photos because I take still photos. So I programmed this MFN button to switch from video back to still photos. And as you can see, I'm in video mode. I just hit that button, I go straight to picture mode, straight back to video mode. The way that you program the buttons on an R5 or Canon camera, all Canon cameras are pretty much the same. You hit the menu button, or you go to the little camera, you go to number 3, you scroll down to customize button. You can select whichever button you would like to switch from video to camera, but I chose this little button right here in the MFN button because I don't use it for anything anyway. It's convenient, it's right next to my shutter finger, and it works really well for me. The other advantage to shooting video, especially wildlife video or cinematic scenes, video can be shot at a much higher ISO and not be grainy. So therefore you can shoot in much lower light and still get very good quality video. This is how I get most of my wildlife video. It's done in the time of day before most people wake up, and then I go about my business after that. If you have any questions or comments about video, or you need some tips or additional advice, please drop me a comment. I'd be happy to help if you have any questions, if I can. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of Premiere Pro because I honestly don't know that much about it myself. The arrow tool is what you select your clips and move them around with. The razor tool here is what you cut your clips with. So I would typically just scroll this like this. If you're doing like wildlife, there's no sound really, so I would cut that there. You right click the mouse, ripple delete, and it will delete that clip. I would pick the piece I wanted, maybe just that little piece. If you want 2 pieces, you delete the piece in the middle. And I have a nice little wildlife scene. There's no audio, so if you want to add music to the video, you would right click, you would scroll down to unlink, you unlink these 2, and then you would select the 2 unlinked audio clips that have nothing on them, and you would delete those or clear them. Then you can add audio here, but typically you have to pay for the audio, otherwise you may be in trouble for copyright, or your video might get flagged for copyright and they'll take it down. If you're editing something with sound or talking in it, I typically listen to it first. But one tip is, like this area right here, there's no sound. That means I was not talking. So if I'm taking a talking video, it means I wasn't doing anything during that part of the video. So I would just go through and automatically cut all of these out. All the pieces with no sound. That'll save you some time when you're editing your videos. If you have a video that's overexposed like this one, you can adjust the lighting on it and the colors. It's under this tab here. You just want to make sure that this blue bar is over the top of this tab that you have selected so that you're seeing what's on this tab. And then you can adjust the exposure of this. You can get creative if you're creative. If you're like me and you shoot video vertical and horizontal, you can fix it in Premiere Pro. You would just go to this rotation right here under your effects control. The rotation would be, for this video, because it's left to right, you just put -90. Once you do that, obviously the scale is off. So then you just click the scale button. It'll give you these two dots, and you can just scroll it out till it's big enough. If you click the position button, you can just scroll the video up and put it where you want it. And then you have a nice horizontal video out of a vertical shot video. You can also do the same thing with a vertical shot video. You just change the rotation to 90. It will flip it that way. If that's the wrong direction, you go -90. It will flip it the other way. And then you can stretch it out, move it around if you want. Those are the basic settings that I use when I do editing in Premiere Pro. I really don't see much need for anything else. If you want to add audio, all you do is pick your audio file. You drop it in there just like that under the audio section. And then you'll have music behind your video. I typically like to grab this little gray box right here. This is the fader. So if I was going to bring this in after talking, then the music would come in slowly, kind of like this. I hope you learned something about shooting in-camera video, or maybe Premiere Pro. Once I figure out Premiere Pro myself, maybe I'll make a video about that so I can pass that information along to you guys. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do next week, so make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you get a notification when that video comes out. If you like this video and you want to check out another one I did about video and making Instagram reels, I'll attach it right here, and I'll see you over there.